Occupy LA protesters stand off.
LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa joining us now. First of all, thanks for being here this morning. Busy morning for you.
It's great to be here with you, Frank.
Yeah, so first of all, tell us what is the latest. We saw the police have a confrontation of sorts at 1st and Main this morning, and then they backed off. And Chief Beck continued to say, look, the deadline that you guys keep talking about at 12:01, that was a media deadline. That wasn't our deadline. What's your take on that?
I think what he means by that was the park is closed as of 12:01. When enforcement will occur, or when an enforcement action will occur, will be at a time when it's safe for our police officers and makes the most sense. All weekend we've informed people of this deadline. We've provided social service workers to inform the homeless of opportunities for beds. 50 beds open today. I think 870 beds open on Thursday. There are a little less than 100 or so homeless there. Many of the occupiers actually have left, or some of them have left rather. Others stayed in their tents. A lot of what you saw last night were people that haven't been occupying the park over the last couple of months.
And I know you have been watching the situation very, very closely all throughout the night. 3 people arrested, a couple of skirmishes, but did things kind of go as you expected it?
Well, they were mostly peaceful, noisy, unruly. Yes, there were a couple who were not. But our police were very, very restrained, and I was very proud of them. This is a tough situation, these situations. And the images you've seen across the country where people battling the police, you haven't seen in the city, and in large part because the occupiers have been peaceful, but in large part because our police officers have been very, very restrained.
Well, you and Chief Beck have made a concerted effort to essentially get to know these guys and to de-escalate that sort of tension that we've seen in other cities. But the flip side of that is, what kind of precedent are you setting by saying to them, look, camp out on the lawn here for months at a time, essentially, ruin that space for a while? How much is this going to cost? Has it been the best way to approach it?
Well, first of all, what we've done here, this wasn't just any protest. This was a national protest. In fact, an international protest occurring all around the world, Canada, the United States, London, and other countries as well. We took the approach. We believe in the First Amendment. You can protest. And we wanted to make sure that we were talking to people because we thought talking through this was the best way to proceed ahead, and we've done that. But it's become crystal clear, and I've said for a long time now, that it wasn't sustainable to be there indefinitely. They still have the spring steps where they can protest. They won't be able to camp out. And they can engage in other forms of protest, organizing, voting in this coming election. Those are all things that they can do.
But this idea of, and tell me if this was wrong, but during the negotiations, offering farmland and office space to a group of protesters, was that a mistake?
No, let me tell you, first of all, the amount of office space that was quoted in the newspaper was not accurate. That was their proposal, not ours. What we said was we want to provide you with an alternative site, that the camping at City Hall isn't sustainable. It was clear, however, that we couldn't get, they have a 90% threshold to build consensus. It was clear that we weren't going to get that with any proposal. And once that became clear, we thought it was time to close the park.
Los Angeles is one of the last cities to be occupied kind of at this point. We've seen, some violent situations kind of throughout the country.
We've seen a lot of violence.
A lot of violent situations. So have you learned specifically from looking at the various cities what to do, what not to do, how to handle this?
We've learned some.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, we thought we had to acknowledge that these protesters have shined a light on something that, frankly, Americans are grappling with all across the country. The growing disappearance of the middle class, a growing concentration of wealth among a few, this feeling like nobody is listening. And so we did listen. We did talk with these folks from the beginning. They have been peaceful. We respect that. And our officers have been very restrained. And my hope is that we'll be able to conclude this chapter peacefully, and that's certainly the goal that we have, and we've made every effort to make that happen.
It all comes with a cost, and we saw a great deal of police presence this morning. There was a tactical alert, which means officers are on overtime. You just look at the lawn at City Hall, it's clearly gone. How much is this costing the city?
We haven't calculated the full cost. It's certainly upwards of $150,000, $160,000 so far. For the most part, we had police officers, very small presence of police officers over the last 8 weeks. Obviously, last night, a larger complement of officers. I can't tell you where we'll end up. I can just tell you that we are gratified that it's been peaceful, but it is time to close the park. And so at any point after last night at 12:01, we will enforce the park closure.
All right, Mr. Mayor, we appreciate your coming on this morning. We know it's a very busy day for you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.